Hmm? Welcome to the Leicester Fan TV podcast and the preview for Southampton versus Leicester. Obviously, Saturday is going to be a huge, crucial 3-pointers for us on the weekend. We have obviously got Southampton, bottom of the league. What is your kind of take on this game? Because, like I say, it's a 6-pointer for both teams. If they get the 3 points, they go a lot closer to getting to safety. With free win, we push ourselves out of this kind of relegation zone.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive 6-pointer. I think I saw the other day we've got 13 games left of the season, and I think 8 of them are teams that are either 10th or below us. Those kind of games where really tough run. Obviously, played Spurs, United, Arsenal, and even Villa. They were in the mix of being a tough game. So against Southampton and these teams going forward, it's not just Southampton. It's your West Hams. I'm pretty sure we still got Everton. I think we still have to play them. I'm not sure.
Yes, we've got them at home. Yes,
they're one of the teams again that they've got loads of 6-pointers coming up that really are going to make or break Leicester at the moment. I think we've definitely got the team to do it. Whether we have I think it's not about how good a team is, how well they play together and how the manager manages them. For me, Southampton's a great starting point because after that we've got Chelsea who are on a bit of a off form, and I think we could pick something up against them. But to start off with, like you say, Southampton on Saturday, it's a must win, and it's a massive 6 points, probably the biggest game of our season. Really, it could determine whether we stay up or go down this year, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm struggling. Like I've said to you that this game, as much as a few years ago you would have said Southampton's an easy win for us because obviously where we were on the table. Now both teams will desperately want this win. They know how bad we've been. We know how bad they've been. So when we come into this game now, we've got to make sure that we're solid at the back, we're good in the attack, and just make sure we win this game because as much as I think you agreed with me, well, you disagreed with me yesterday saying that we should be winning this, they're going to be up for it. It's going to be a difficult game if we lose it, but we perform well and we've had 20 shots and 10 on target. You'd think, how the hell have we lost this? But again, they need the points just as much as us.
For me, I think our biggest worry for the weekend is James Ward-Prowse. I think that's obvious that he's going to be the biggest threat. For me, we can't give away a free kick inside the 20 yards, because they're going to, have a shot. Or James Ward-Prowse, he's going to more than likely put a shot on target.
That's where that's going to be the tactic of the whole game. Just don't let them get a free kick.
With our defence, I think the back four are usually all right, but they're good. Back four at the moment we have this, of Christensen, Suter, and Fives, but they are a bit reckless. I think they do give away free kicks a bit willy-nilly. They're just. And if you ask me, with James Ward-Prowse against Danny Ward, I think more are going to go.
Yes, but then you kind of got to look at the other side of the picture and say that yes, we know Brandon Rodgers probably won't do this, but in my eyes, going into this game, if that is your tactic to just make sure you don't get a free kick. If they do get a free kick on the outside of the box, you'll be putting people on the line. You're making sure there's less chance of this free kick going in the net because
free kicks at some point in the game you can almost guarantee Southampton they're going to have a free kick on the edge of the box with James Ward-Prowse. That's just bound to happen.
But this is where you have to do things to prevent more chances of you
getting it. The build up for the weeks, James Ward-Prowse can take a free kick. Have Danny Ward standing somewhere in his goal line and have Suter.
Have somebody on the line. There's nothing wrong with having somebody on the line.
But I think our biggest strength for the weekend should be attack, because against Blackburn, we didn't have as much attacking force, and I think that's cost us because we were on the back foot. We're trying to pass it around the back when they had 5 or 6 of their own players on us, and that inevitably both goals came from mistakes.
Yep.
And they both, those goals got them win. We would have been playing Sheffield United, and it's a massively easy run to a Wembley match, in the semi-finals if we beat United. So I think we have messed up massively by not beating Blackburn, and I agree with Grace that we should really beat Southampton. If we don't, I'd sack him on the spot.
Again, I look at that in the comment. The moment you said if we don't beat them, it's kind of like I wouldn't be shocked if we do lose to them because of the situation they're in. They've got to be getting these points as much as us. And I'm not trying to say that we shouldn't like. Yes, we should be winning. The team we've got. No, I know that. But if you saw their team, it was a mix and match. They did drop a lot of players.
So did we. I know we lost, but they're losing to play teams
Yeah,
like Grimsby.
no, I get you.
Where they are, they've got to be.
But again, I'm just trying to. I don't want to defend Southampton, but it's a fact that they do need it as much as us. And
yeah, they do.
If we lose it, we can't just say Rodgers out or Rodgers is to be gone because we lost the game, which is probably one of the biggest games of the season.
I don't think it's just I think you kind of contradict yourself there because it's not just this isn't Rodgers' last straw because he's had a lot of
I get that,
a lot of fans, including myself. I would have had him gone a long time ago. I don't think he's quality. I don't think he has anything to offer anymore. I think he had a good first couple of seasons. Obviously, won the FA Cup, and he's now gone to this way of playing a certain style of football. And it's stubborn. It's stuck in his ways. Southampton, like I said, they're going to be up for it, but we realistically should be beating them. Like every
I agree. I think the quality we've got compared to them is better, and I think on paper we do win. But again, it's all about the passion and the fight and how you get stuck in a game. And like I say, again, I don't want to keep like kind of backing Southampton here, but it's such a big game for both teams. I think anyone can win it, and no team is very favourites to win this.
The club itself is in the owners, the board. They're not going to sack Rodgers this season. I think that's pretty obvious, unless we got relegated. I think is when they'd sack him. So, if we lose to Southampton at the weekend, I think we're a relegated club this season because we're not going to sack Rodgers, and he's not going to change his ways to keep this club up. He's not going to change how stubborn he is. So, if you ask me, I think it's either going to go one of two ways. If we beat Southampton, great. Hopefully, we can carry on to those teams where there's a lot more 6-pointer games. But if we lose to Southampton, Rodgers is still going to be there, still going to play the same football, and I think that is what's going to get us relegated. He's playing the same style of football under a tired manager who's you can tell he's probably not bothered if he gets sacked unless he gets paycheck and move on to the next club. He's not going to stay with us if we get relegated in the Championship. So for me, I don't really see why we're keeping him around. Again, it's one of those things where I think he's just run his course at Leicester, and for me, I would have him gone by now because Southampton, like I said, we beat them 6 points. If we lose to them, like I say, we lose 3 points. And I think Southampton is going to determine how we do.
I completely agree. I think, like I say, we both know it's a must-win, and as much as I'm saying that we might lose the game, with the quality we've got, we should be winning this game.
Start 11. Who's in and who's out after the cup game?
Well, I think we all. I won't say all of us agree, but there's a lot of people saying that we did have to rotate a lot of players into the cup game, which again might have been a good idea, might have not been a good idea.
But now there's no excuse for losing Southampton.
No.
We've got fully
the team we put out on Saturday would be for me. I think you've only got Ward to choose from. I think there's no way Iverson's getting in there either way. You'd put for me, I'd put Ricardo in there because I just don't think Castanier's defensive enough to be capable. He's all right going attacking wise, but defensively he gets caught out a lot. Left back, I'd obviously go Christiansen, and then defence you go Faze and Suter. In midfield, for me, again, I would have gone Tillemans, but he's out, and he won't be able to play now. So I think you're going to have to go for someone like Dewsbury, as much as I don't think he's been the greatest. You've got Mendy. I think he has to start. Mendy, out of everyone in the midfield, you've got to start Mendy.
I think if you do look at the team sheet and see Mendy's not in there and he's on the bench.
That's what I mean.
You do really have to
when people were saying how did Mendy get dropped against Arsenal, there was reasons I could see why. There was obviously tactics based in the team that was like, I think Wilfried's better suited for this game because of his height or because of how his stature is in the game. Whereas when we need to be winning games, Mendy's there to just get stuck in. And for me, he has to play. Then in front of them, there's obviously one man you always have to play, and that is Maddison. And then on the wings, I'll go Tete. don't want to say Barnes, but there's no one else to choose from.
And
then Iheanacho, as much as I don't want to see Barnes in the team.
I agree with a lot of those things. Like I don't know when the post going out, but we did do our team predictions for the weekend. I don't know if it's gone out already.
No, it's not. It'll be out on Friday.
My team was pretty much the same as you, except I'd have no Dewsbury Hall and have Vardy up front with Nacho. I think we really need to be attacking against Southampton. I know
that's 4 up front, that is.
Well, it's very attacking. But if you ask me, we need to have kind of 2 sections of the pitch where there's a defence with Mendy holding the midfield, and then there's an attack from Madison who can.
We should get, but then again, if you do sacrifice at the midfield,
for me,
and Rodgers isn't one to sacrifice in the midfield.
I know you say sacrifice, like you say, there's no T elements, and Dewsbury was miles off the pace.
Yes.
For me, I see a wasted player playing Dewsbury at the moment in the midfield. I'd rather have someone up front to have.
No, I get that. I feel like you just don't have any midfield to really help Mendy out. If he's the only one in that midfield and he misses a challenge or whatnot, that's coming all into back line already. Whereas you need someone else to cover Mendy in midfield.
Yeah, I'm not saying that they don't come back. It's just I think obviously it'd be nice to have the midfield.
Yes.
I mean, German's for me, even though he's injured, I still don't think he's been playing that good this whole season. I think he's had a few decent moments, but overall, he just seems like a lazy player in my eyes.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I will just do 2 up front because I'm just going off Villa and Spurs purely. We didn't have 2 up front, but we went super attacking and we scored 4 goals. For me, our Achilles heel this season is sitting back, which is what we consistently do. We keep sitting back, but I think that's what causes. I don't think
at times we mean to sit back. I think with how the opponents come on to us, you kind of have no option. I think when you're playing against Man U, we went on the front foot and went for it. But when you're playing against Arsenal, I don't think we were meant to. I don't think we tried to defend. I just think after they kicked off in the first 10 minutes, you knew it was going to be that sort of game. So you can't have had to just do what you could.
We like to pass it on the back. We don't like teams like Blackburn when they came and attacked us and they're on, when they say they got 4 or 5, 6 players in our own half, pushing us back, passing around, making mistakes. Like I said, both their goals came from mistakes from, Amati and I think Samara. I don't know who was the second one there. I think it might have been Iverson.
It was Samara.
Was just a sluggish passing. It's those players to begin with for me aren't passing players anyway. So for bad management by Rodgers, they shouldn't be playing that kind of tactic for those managers. But for Southampton, we're not very good at passing around the back. We're not Man City. We're not Barcelona. We can't pass around the players we've got, even with Yasuta and Fies. I don't think they're capable enough. For me, whenever I see his pass around the back, I always think of a mistake is going to happen from this.
I think when we've got a full lineup, I think we are capable of doing it.
But I see a mistake in it. Every time we do it, there's
going to be a mistake because we aren't to that level. But then again,
don't play that way.
But then you're going to be playing a style that you might find quite boring, like a pure style, where it was really, really boring.
When we played against Villa, Spurs was fine too. We kept doing long passes up the pitch and trying to connect things. Against a team like Southampton, I don't know how attacking they're going to be. They might come and sit there and defend like we do, which might allow us to pass around the back, which is, it's not a very creative game. But when we're slugging it forward, and even if we lose the ball, at least it's 30, 40 yards in their half, and we're not losing it 20 yards outside of our box where they're going to score like Blackburn. When Amati lost the ball, I would have much preferred if we hoofed it up 50 yards and loses it to their defence, because it's away then, you can start again, you push the attack. But when we lose it in our own half, they can have 4 or 5 players against defenders who are running backwards on the off foot. And for me, that's just, I think,
the way,
it's not just me, that's every fan.
The way I can see it going into the Southampton game, obviously I'll be there, and looking at how the season's gone for both teams, I think we're going to be the team on the front foot, because I don't think they haven't got the strike power. We have when it works. Obviously, the last few weeks we have scored quite a few goals, but I can't see anywhere like other than, like you say, you've already said the only player we really have to worry about in that team at the moment is Ward-Prowse.
Yeah, there's not many.
That is it. We have to be on the front foot and just make sure when it comes back to us, we don't make any rash challenges or rash decisions, and just make sure we're not passing around the back where someone's like Suter gets the ball, instead of trying to pull it down and put it to his feet, move it back up.
I would do that. I'd be on the front foot against Leicester, because you know that they're going to, more than likely we're going to be passing around the back against Southampton, which is not a good tactic. And if they're on the front foot, they can make a mistake. We can do a foul. The best option to them is to either score If not, we give a foul away. James Ward-Prowse, he's gonna.
That's what I mean. Like you
9
say,
times out of 10
their
hit
best
the
option to
target.
get a shot on target is obviously by pushing onto us and making us do
We're,
errors.
we're
But
saying that as fans now. We know what not to do. If you were the manager now, you'd know not to be passing around the back and let them.
no, I think we'll be on the front foot against Southampton. That's just me.
You're saying you'd like us to do that. As a
No, I
fan.
think we will. I think we will against Southampton. Against someone like Arsenal, I don't think we can. We can't be. I think if we did that,
we are passing around the back, what do you
if
think?
we did that against Arsenal, we would have been absolutely slapped because of the way they're playing at the moment. But someone against Southampton, who are really dodgy at the moment, I think we can easily go out and be on the front foot. I think we will be on the front
I think
foot.
we need to. I don't think there's two ways around it. You're going to know if we're not 10 minutes in.
If we're on the okay,
You're
then
gonna
I'll
see
go
it.
say this before we close because obviously we are close to the ending now. If we play on the front foot, get so many shots on target and whatnot, and we're just not clinical enough, but we lose 1-0, would you be happy? Because we have still tried, like get someone against United, half time, we felt like we deserved to be in the
For
league.
me, one of these games where a lot of times I would say if we play really well, like for me, United and Arsenal, I thought we played.
I know what you're going to
decent.
say. You're going to say it doesn't matter how we play, we need to just get the win. And you do agree.
We can play awful, but if we win 1-0 in the 90th minute, then we win 1-0 in the 90th minute. We just need to get all 3 points. We need to take them all back against Southampton because, like I said, if we lose this game, I think it really does determine if we're going to get relegated or not. I think that just shapes us up for the last.
Gray asked why did Rodgers play 2 defensive midfielders against Blackburn for God's sake?
I don't understand. We did play very defensive.
Who did we play in midfield? It was Sumari and for me, Dewsbury was not a DM. He's more of a midfielder. Even if he played Sumari and KDH because we didn't have any Tillemans, we didn't have Mendy in that team, so he definitely played them. But for me, it's not exactly 2 DMs. I think he always plays that with either Tillemans and Mendy or Dewsbury or Mendy. There's always one attacking out of the two. But 4-4-2 Saturday again. I would probably like to see that, but Rodgers isn't going to.
I don't know if we have a 4-4-2 style to fit really because
you play Barnes on the left, you play one up, you play Iheanacho and probably Vardy or Daka / whoever plays there, and then on the right you probably would play Maddison.
What 4-4-2 you mean? If you mean box standard 4-4-2 for left midfield and right midfield,
you'd probably play Maddison on the right then.
Again, I would just do a strong because I think 4-1-3-2.
Or 4-2-3-1, it depends how he plays it. Either way, that's what we're going to have.
Because we have wingers. If we do a 4-4-2, I think we're going to see a lot of players out of position. If you put Mendy in midfield, because he's pretty much the only option to put in there. He wouldn't be. He's a defensive midfielder. He's not a central midfielder.
Yeah.
And same for Maddison. He's a central attacking midfielder, not a right midfielder. So I think he should play that position if we like to do a box standard 4-4-2.
Yeah, your mate Sam says Southampton were utterly awful last night, but really don't see how we're going to get that much better if we're a terrible team selection against from Rodgers. Need Maddison and White, we ain't winning.
We always need Maddison to win games.
The thing is, I look at it. I look at the situation with Maddison, and people think we're relying on him. I don't think we do. I think when he's in the team out in a whole just play better. I don't think when he's in the team, he's the only reason we've won games. I think when he's in the side, he makes things progress better.
He is the calm head in the midfield that we lack. He is the leader of the team.
But I don't think Maddison's the one who literally wins us every single game.
He doesn't. Well, I think he has been a massive factor.
He has.
In the majority of our points this season.
But it was like when we won. It's like when we were relying on Vardy to score every single goal. It's not the same as that. He's the one that I think just builds the team better at times. Yes, he will. Owen Palmer said he was fit for Blackburn, but he didn't want to risk him in that game. But he said he's ready for Saturday. He should be, yes.
Whether he is or not, we'll see. He could pick up another injury because it is still 2 days.
It's madness, so. It's madness he gets injured for nothing.
Weldon Shed said he'd rather keep Rodgers and let players go. I think a lot of fans would agree with that.
Because of how many contracts
it doesn't work like that. You can't just get rid of 10 players.
You've got to think though on both sides that yes, Rodgers might not have been playing the tactics well, but now in the summer we're going to have 6, 7, 8 players leave us. This is his chance now that if he wants to build this squad how he wants to play, this is his moments. Obviously, if you get to that point, then yes, but like you said, he bought Tete and he wanted right winger. He got a right winger. He got a better left back in Christiansen, and he brought a new centre back in. He's got parts of what he wants to build. So now going into summer, he's got his options to build.
I struggle to see his future at Leicester, just because I look at his signings that he brings in, and I know money's a massive factor in it. I'm yet to be convinced he's signed anyone that's really made this team great. You know, these past.
No, I do understand that.
Again, if it's Rodgers making his signings, the past 3 we made in January, Christensen is obviously a massive breath of fresh air. There you go. I'd say
Fresher breath air.
Yeah. You can just see him on the pitch. He's actually wants to play for Suter. I think he's a solid defender. I wouldn't say he's anything special, but he is, your 6'6" giant.
But compared to the other windows, I think he's done a lot better.
Yeah, Tete, for me, I think he's got a lot to prove still. If he wants to sign up for Leicester, I don't mind that he came in at loan, because for me, he had one for a good first game, but I've not seen him do anything, not even against Blackburn.
But then again, I think you'd say the same about Lookman when he first joined. I don't think we were too impressive at the start. By the end of the season, we were quite happy with what he did. But before, at the start, he was a bit touch and go.
Did we get Lookman in January? I thought we had Lookman since the start of the season, didn't we? I thought we had him all season, our season long loan.
I think we had a season long loan, but the fact is, with the first few games of him,
for me, he has to get, I'd probably say
4 or 5 goals.
5 goals and maybe 5 assists. I'd say if
maybe
we're really considering signing someone. I know that's a lot, but for me, we were a club that 2 years ago we were challenging for top 4, and we're now challenging for a different kind of top 4. To stay, top 4 in the bottom 4.
Yeah. Last comment before we do end. We have to win without Maddison. We aim to one-man team. Again, that's what I'm saying. I don't think we are a one-man team, even if he is in the team. I think he's a catalyst into the team playing better.
He's our best player.
He is our best player, yes.
He does really make a difference. But I'm going to say again, he's gone at the summer, so we need to.
You need to work out
we need to work how we play.
Yes.
And whether that obviously probably means we do bring in another attacking midfielder. But you've got to bring in some more of the likes of, Maddison. For me, he came from the Championship. We kind of knew what he was going to offer. He's played in the English league before. I wouldn't go out and sign another Daka kind of player who scored a handful of goals in a league that's nothing. So only time will tell. I think it's obvious Maddison's going to go over to me if he has to use it.
If I'm totally honest, I don't think it's obvious, but I do see him going. I just don't know if it's going to be just yet.
Right now,
I don't think it's just going to go just yet.
He'll go in summer. I think he'll 100% go in summer. I think clubs like Newcastle.
Then again, I think his price will. I think that price will really lock clubs out of the price.
I don't think we're going to get as much money as people think.
I think so. Right now, before we do end, I'm going to ask you 3 scorelines for Southampton, and also how much you think Maddison is worth.
Scoreline for Southampton. I think again, there's no other ways around it. 3-0 win Leicester. If we don't get anything, it has to be a comfortable win. Well, it doesn't have to be, but it'd be nice to be a comfortable win.
Yeah.
I would just take a win after the 95th minute, last minute goal, whatever. But it has to be a win.
Yeah.
I don't see 2 ways around it. Maddison, for me, I think he's maximum 60 million with his contract.
Wow.
When you see his contract for Leicester, though, he's only got a year and a half left.
No, I know, but I think if somebody wants him for this summer, they're going to have to pay a lot.
I think 60 million is what. I think that's the rumour number that Newcastle are willing to pay. I think that's what we accept. I'd say he's worth a lot more, but when you see the players like Fofana and that going, they are on the massive contracts that they just signed, which is what we did sign.
No, I do get you because of his contract, he will be less priced.
If you ask me, he's on a Grealish level, but because of his contract, I think he will just sign.
I think he's better than Grealish.
Yeah, I agree. But
I honestly, I will say
money wise, I think he'd be around Grealish.
Yes, yeah.
I think it's what he would be worth on a fully new contract.
Yeah. I don't even think Grealish was worth 100, but whatever.
He doesn't have that. So for me, 60 million is max.
Okay, I'm gonna go for a 2-0. I think we just need to make sure we don't concede, because if we concede first, I think that's game over. I think we'll probably lose. If we get the first one, I think we'll comfortably win it. Like a Facebook user says, 2-0 if Maddison plays a match up front. Hopefully we do. And Gray says Suter got merged against megged against Arsenal. That should never happen. Knowing yes, because we got caught out too early in the second half. And then for me, Maddison, at this stage, I want to say about 70 to 80 mil. But like you say, contracts could make his price fluctuate.
Just mess up the money.
But I will say this: people are hyping around a lot of English players and even Rashford. I've looked at stats. Maddison is probably the best, one of the best English players
Oh,
in the
he
league.
100% is the best. He's not one of. He is the best English for his position. Stats wise,
In the position, yes, but in every single English player at the
if you're
moment,
basing on
for
it,
me,
yeah, he's
like
one of the best. He's top 5. I'd
compared
say,
to Rashford, Rashford's played about another 7 or 8 games more, and he scored what, another 5 goals. I'm sorry, but with the amount of games that Maddison's played, he's been incredible.
Yeah.
He's scored in. If he scores one more, he scored 10 goals in what 17 games.
Yeah, he is 100%.
It's ridiculous.
One of the best English players in the league.
So and
Which
that's
is why
why
he goes to one
one,
of the best-
and that's
best
why
clubs in
my
the league.
price is bumped up just because he's English. I think at 60 mil, that's if he wasn't English. I think if he goes because he's English, it bumps the price up like Maguire was.
Again, but Maguire had a long new
Was he though?
contract. Yeah, he signed a new contract.
I can't remember that, but
That, to me,
yeah.
that's the only reason Maddison
Yeah.
goes on 60 million is his contract. If we got him signed right now on a 5-year deal,
Mhm.
like literally right now, if he signed a 5-year deal and we sold him, so he'd easily go 100, 120 million
Okay.
in today's market.
Yeah, that's fair. Right, appreciate you all coming on tonight. That has been the Leicester Fan TV podcast. Sam, thank you for coming on with us. And we'll catch you all for the next podcast and the next match preview or review later on in the week. Cheers.